when we start using these tools. And if I move to the midsection now, and if we observe the mid-bottom area, you'll see that currently all the tools we have, our entire toolkit, every single tool is visible right here at the bottom. First of all, we have the selection tool. The set emphasize the selection tool. On its section, we have the move and and hand the options. With the move tool, we can move any element. For that, first I will explain the frame and section that we have in the next part. Then we will come back to this. So we have frames and we also have sections available. Primarily we are utilizing these frames because we need to apply auto layout, and auto layout, in short, I will explain a little bit more about it in the future. And we have a section, we utilize this section to organize all the major frames that we have within our setup. And slice among all these options is the least utilized tool that we possess. So for the time being, we will skip this particular one on now next we'll see that specifically for creating polygons, we have various different shapes available. Among these, we have rectangles, a line tool, an arrow tool, an ellipse tool, a dedicated polygon tool, a star tool, and then of course at the very end we also have the option to import an image. And in this manner we are able to create these various polygon shapes utilizing the polygon tools with the assistance of this specific tool. Next, we have the pen tool available to us, which also includes both the pen and pencil tools. We will be looking at this in more detail in a short period further on in the future. Next, we have the text tool. We can activate the text tool using T, of course, and by activating it with T, we can then write any text directly onto the canvas. So this is our dedicated tool for writing text, and we also have a tool specifically for comments. And then finally, we have a section for plugins. Here we can import, install, and effectively utilize various different plugins and assets. So first of all, of course, what I'll do is we have a frame here, and in the frame section, the frame is associated with F. You can use the shortcut key F. Of course, we won't utilize all sections, and as I explained, we use slice less often anyway. So first I will select the frames, or even if you press the F key, this tool will also become active for us. So I'll press the F key now, and you'll see this tool has become active. If you look at the right hand side, you will notice that we already have a list of predefined resolutions, for example for iPhone 17 and iPhone 16, and we can easily set the resolution for those mobile devices by simply clicking on them. For example, if I click on iPhone 17, or its resolution will generate a frame of that exact size for us. And on the left side, you will see a hierarchy of layers has been created, and we now have a frame. The frames icon will be this, and if you hover over it, it will still display frame. And similarly I will undo, and if I press F and select the frame tool separately, then we have options for different tablets as well. We also have fonts to of course options for desktops. Similarly, we will click on them and frames will keep getting created for us. So let's say we want to create a custom custom frame. I'll go back to the frame tool. So what we'll do is when we have the frame tool option, we'll click and drag it, and if we're dragging it while keeping its width and height constant and expanding it uniformly, then we'll press shift, and it will expand uniformly from the left and right sides and also from the left and bottom. Or you could describe it as expanding in both its height and width. It will of course maintain a perfect square form, and if for example I want to keep the length, or rather the width smaller, and I want to increase the height, so this is how we manually adjust it. Down at the bottom we have the resolution displayed for us, and even after Wes creating the frame, whereas here we can also edit it from the properties. So this is how we work with the frame tools. And with the frame tool we create frames in this manner. And then what we have is this is the selection tool. With the selection tool, I will now explain it further. Using the selection tool, we utilize it to move any frame that we have, and for now I am of course selecting and moving the frame. Next we have the hand tool. So what exactly do we do with the hand tool? Instead of moving the frame, is the canvas that we are actually moving. And now that I'm moving the canvas, I'll just grab another frame, and then explaining it, well, that will be much better. Right now you can see the two frames are side by side. I will go ahead and center them. For the time being, I'll drag one of these frames using the selection tool or the move tool. I am moving it with the help of this, and then we have the hand tool, which we can activate for a short period when we press the spacebar. As long as we keep it pressed, this particular tool remains active. So I will click on it and drag it, and our entire canvas, the canvas itself, will be moving. So this is how we can move things. And to move a single frame, we will use the move tool is OP, and to temporarily activate it, you can press the spacebar to use the hand tool. So in this manner, we will have covered all these particular tools. Then finally, we are left with a scale tool, which we can select. And of course, we can also activate it by pressing the K key, its shortcut. This scale tool the scale tool is useful to us for scaling frames, for uniformly scaling them. For example, very basic one and then if we make a selection with the move tool, of course the outermost section we have its width and height will be set. But for example, if we have nested elements that which are covered by the frame, and inside the frame different elements have been used, buttons have been used, and form input fields. Furthermore, even images have been utilized. So when we scale this using the frame tool, naturally it's our outermost section that gets scaled. But instead, for example, what we actually want to do is scale all the elements of the frame that are contained within it, and the outer frame itself should also be able to scale. So we scaled it using the scale tool. And most probably for major elements, we typically use the scale tool for scaling instead of scaling it through the selection tool. So if you, for example, if you want to adjust the height, that can also be achieved in this manner. You can place it on a particular point. All right, currently there are more significant changes in width or more significant changes in height, or you can scale it uniformly in this way. With the help of the tool and the second option, when the scale tool is active for us, we will manually set the width and height from here, and of course the inner elements dimensions will be adjusted accordingly, and naturally our aspect ratio will be locked. So increasing or decreasing either the width or the height will similarly affect the other value. And this is how the scale tool functions. The scale tool to deactivate or disable it or to go to another move tool, you can also close it by clicking the cross. And now we are back on the selection tool, or when we are on the scale tool, if we press V, we will again be, if you press V, then we will again be on the frame tool. I meant the move tool, sorry. So this is how the move tools and then scale features are covered. And then I'll quickly demonstrate the section for you. In this section, if I drag and drop, all the major multiple frames that we have created will be included within our sections layout. We've entered a specific portion. For instance, I can name this particular section to indicate that all these frames are related to our login process. And similarly, when we've created a large number of frames on a larger scale, and we end up with numerous frames, then to effectively organize all of them, we make use of the selection tool. I'll just undo this action now.